chat.
I think we need to say it again. Everybody who has Shannon as your name, let's rename you. Go to the three dots on the top right hand of your picture, and it says rename. So we know who's in the room.
Let me jump in here for you guys.
All right. Let's talk about this. Who's in the room, you guys? 1 to 3 years in real estate. Raise your hand. 1 to 3 years. Let's or put like me, thumbs up in the chat box. 1 to 3 years. What do we got going? Oh, me. I love me, me, me. All right. 3 to 5 years. Put a five up.
In
If
the
you're
chat.
5 years
Keep
in
the
the
chat
chat.
up the whole time.
Yeah. In the chat box. 5 years. Okay, let's say 10. Anybody in here 10? Okay, 6, 10. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, 11. I love it. All right. Any more than 11? How about that? Yeah, how about that? 20. I saw a 20, a 19, 20, 20. Okay, 28. All right.
36. Hey, yo,
24.
you guys are kicking butt.
Oh my goodness, I love
36,
it.
20. Mm-hmm.
I saw 34. All right, so you taught me. I'm 30 years. 31 actually. So that's
And
awesome.
well, the reason we wanted to find out is we're just curious, like, I mean, I think the number one thing that is most difficult to master as an agent is time blocking. And everybody struggles with it. And just when you feel like you mastered it, something else comes up. So, what we're going to be doing today is we are going to make it so we are going to talk to you about time blocking. We're going to give you some techniques, some strategies. I'm actually going to show you my personal calendar so you can see what it looks like. And just know that, like, this is an ongoing thing. You'll never 100% master time blocking, but we will give you the tools, the strategies. We're going to give you some actual calendars today so that you can be more effective with your time, so that you don't feel so stressed, that you don't feel so overwhelmed, so that you don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never caught up at the end of the day. So today's all about time blocking like a mega agent. And I know we have some people that are not in real estate here today with us.
Yes.
We're totally okay with that.
I
Um,
love to see that as well though.
Absolutely. You guys, if you are on this, it is going to be recorded and you're going to get a copy. So every single person, we had 483 people register. We probably hit 500 by now. Every one of you who registered will get a copy of this recording, as well as I'm going to give you a copy of the calendar that I use to block my calendar. We're going to give you a copy of something called the 411, which is a technique we use in KW. We've got all the goodies for you. So be ready. That's so weird to me that I do that. Somehow I get like a random thumbs up. I feel like Zoom like tried to make it cute and I'm
That's cool.
by it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be sending a blank 411 and we're actually going to show an example of 411. That's something that I use when I'm doing one-on-one coaching. And we also have like a scorecard that we do as well. So that's something I can't wait to share with you guys at a later date.
So what today is all about, it's really about, like, we're going to teach you how to time block, but the reason we want you to have time blocking figured out is so you can have better work-life balance. I will say this, you are never going to have it all figured out. I believe that there are some seasons where I'm like crushing it in real estate and things are going amazing. And there's other seasons where being a mom is my absolute priority, my number one thing. Like you guys, those of you who follow me know that I've had 3 kids in the last 4 years. So I've got full house of littles. And that's my priority, right? And there are times like right now, I am 100% time blocked to be here with you guys. That means my phone is upside down. So if your phone is right side up, the only reason your phone is right side up because you're going to take a screenshot of this so you can put it in your stories, because you're the
Yeah.
kind of agent who does what you say you're going to do, and you're going to share what you're doing because you're continuing your education. So please make sure you put this in your stories today. Show people that you are learning on a webinar to learn about time blocking. Hot tip. I always believe that you should share the values. So take some really good notes on today, and then you can let people know, hey, I just got to learn from 2 top agents and a team leader, right? All about how to time block and have better work-life balance. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. You're going to make that post on your page, and then you're the agent that's offering tons of value to other realtors out there, other business owners in your local community. My goal, Michelle's goal, is always to grow your business for you, whether it's by agent to agent referrals or your clients in your community. So hot tip, make sure you take a screenshot, make that post later on your page today. But today is going to be all about achieving work-life balance. We're going to be talking about how to time block like a mega agent. So I'm going to go ahead and just introduce myself super quickly, and then we're going to introduce Miss Michelle to you. For those of you who don't know, how many of you have never attended a class that I've taught? How many of you are first-time listeners, long-time callers? How many of you, this is like your fifth, seventh, 10th? So my name is Rachel Adams Lee. I live in Northern California, and I'm so excited to get to hang out with you guys. I started in real estate in 2012. So I was at a real estate office managing it, unlicensed, and I was seeing all these paychecks coming through. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, like this is so much more money than I've ever made. And I was in a really difficult place at that point in my life. I was in a really unhealthy marriage. My ex-husband was 80% disabled, 50% from PTSD from the Marine Corps. So I spent my days at this real estate office like, you got your offer accepted, you're going to get this. And I spent my nights crying myself to sleep. Knew I wanted more for my life, needed to figure out what that looked like. And so for me, what happened was I jumped into Keller Williams. I've been with them 12 plus years. And I went to a class called Bold. And any Bold graduates in the room? How many times? 9 times for me. Yep, I see the hands raising. And I heard a quote that rocked my world, and it was change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. So I decided I was going to jump into real estate. My first year was super duper intense. I door knocked 200 doors every single week and did 3 open houses every single week. Knocked 200 doors, did 3 open houses, did not sell any homes for the first 4 months, guys. 4 months. And that yet I stayed consistent. I learned how to time block early on. My first year, I learned how to time block. It's carried me through, and I sold 39 houses my first year. The next year, I launched a team and sold 109 houses. The year after that, 123. I'm now 12 years into the business. I'm a top 1,000 agent in the country still, thankfully, to your referrals and the way I run my business. I'm a mama of 3 boys. I have Henry, Harrison, and Hayden. Henry will be 5 this next month.
Please, that
Harrison
went
is
fast.
2.5, I know, and Hayden's 1.5. I'm a real estate coach. I'm a national social media coach. It's what I do. I love helping people. Michelle.
I am Michele Zaragoza, team leader over in the Sacramento area. I oversee 5 offices. I've been with KW for over 14 years, been licensed for over 30 years. Okay, over 30 years. Been married 27 years, have 2 beautiful kids. They're both in the master's program and just excelling out here. One's in Southern California, where I'm at now in Huntington Beach, living the life by design. I get to do a Zoom, share knowledge with you all, and be on the beach in like an hour and a half. So I'm excited about that. First year as a TL, I won black belt. Ever since then, a multiple black belt winner. I've been a coach for over a year with the Rachel Adams Lee and team. So I'm excited about that. And I've been coaching though for over 14 years, and it's been a lot of fun. And now we have 5 offices for Keller Williams over in the Sacramento area and in the Valley area as well, which would be Ripon, Patterson, and we just keep on growing. So it's exciting times.
Awesome. Well, we are so happy to have you. Scale of 1 to 10, I want to ask you guys. Yeah, and everyone whose name is Shannon Saheen, please change your name go to your 3 dots and change your name so we know who you actually are. And then I would love to ask in the comments, please let us know your name and the area you serve. The area you serve, because this recording is going to go out to everybody who registered. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're inspiring, and you never know where your next referral is coming from. And our goal is to always help you grow by referral. So please say who you are, where you're tuning in from. We've got Texas, we've got Colorado, we've got
Hang on, I need
Georgia,
to do a shout
Ohio,
out. I just
San
saw something.
Diego,
I love seeing all these people on here, Rachel.
Canada. I
This is
know we got people
awesome.
all over the
Vivian,
US.
hello, lady. I'll see you in Austin in a couple weeks.
All
This
right,
is
so let's talk a little bit about the importance of work-life balance. So when Michelle and I, we always talk about, we like to do webinars together, and we were like, what does our industry really need? Like, how can we add value? And Michelle actually used to teach this topic to her market centers when she
yes.
was running team meetings. So Michelle, why don't you share a little bit about like why we decided to teach this class and what it's going to do?
Definitely. I would have to say that's like the main things when people come to me for coaching, or even when we're coaching the top 20, it is the time management and how are we able to do things. And one thing what I would really look back on is look at your calendar. Look at your calendar right now. Is it reflecting the life by design that you are dreaming about and wanting? Do you have your big rocks in your calendar? Oh, I see no. I see a lot of no's now. Okay. So this is good. This is good that you're here because you know it's important. All right. So what we're going to do is just take a look. Yep. Nope. What's important is we're going to take a look at your calendar and really plug things in because there's three things that you should be plugging in. Okay. I want you to be talking about or thinking about the must do's in your business. Okay. The must do's as being the best person in your business because you're the CEO of your own business, right? So you need to think about it. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, are you going to say, I would rehire that CEO again? I would. Are you doing the activities? Are the activities in your calendar to produce the results that you're looking for? And then I would also think about, are you doing the must do's to be the best spouse that you can be? Do you have that in your calendar? Do you have those date nights? I know, Rachel, you're so good about that. Your date nights, you are
Yeah, I
so good
actually
at
wrote
that.
down, like for me, like I have all my notes for today's class, but I
Yeah.
actually was like right before the class, I wrote down for me things that are non-negotiables, like
Yeah.
non-negotiables in my life. Can I share them with you? Can I tell you what they are?
Yes. Yes.
So you guys know that I recently decided that I was going to make my health a priority starting October. And so from October until last month, I just hit a 50-pound weight loss, which having three kids in 4 years, all the fertility drugs, infertility issues we've had, it was a lot on my body. So I lost 50 pounds in the last 7 months. So some of my non-negotiables for me to be the best version of me, like everyone has their thing that is like their trigger. So if I asked you in the chat, I would love to have you tell me. Thanks, guys. I'd love to have you tell me what is your one trigger where if I said, if you do this one thing in the morning, your day is going to be better. If you do this one thing every morning, your day is going to be better. What would you say it is? Exercise.
Getting up at
That's so much
4:45 and working out.
so
Yep.
crazy that you get up that early. Making your bed. I love that you make your bed. Please teach me how to do that because that is just nothing that I like. I want to be the person who wakes up and like makes their bed. Like I just am always like, get out of bed and go
No, you need to be able
work
to walk
out.
back in that bedroom and see it all clean.
I know. You
That's
know what I'm
that's
doing?
peacefulness.
Okay, let
Oh
me tell you
my
what I'm
gosh.
doing. I'm leveraging it to my nanny so that
Hey,
she,
I don't care as long as it gets done.
I
So,
know.
okay, part of this is not stressing out on the activities on getting to that result as long as you get the result.
Yeah, I love it. Look, praying at meditation, affirmations.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
some of these things that you're writing, the other thing I would ask you is, are you actually doing this? So I'm asking you, what is your trigger to give you the best day possible? So when I actually sit down with agents, when I'm coaching agents on my team, or just in general when I'm coaching, I actually have them for 2 days. I have them write down every single thing they're doing. I'm like, what time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you get in the shower? What time do you go to the office? How long are you scrolling on social media when you're supposed to be doing lead generation? And there's no judgment. It's just information. And so I'm like, okay, what? And so for 2 days, you write down every single thing you're doing, every single thing that you're doing. And then at the end of the 2 days, you look back at your schedule and you're like, what did I do well? What wasted my time? Where are my money making activities? And I circle all my money making activities. And then the rest of the stuff that I looked at how I spent my time, I was like, oof. I heard something one time.
Definitely, Rachel, get some color highlighters too, right? That
Mhm.
way you could do the most important ones, right? Those non-negotiables and make sure they're happening.
It's a
And then the
super,
other ones would
super
be,
powerful exercise to do that. And I love the idea of color coding it with the highlighter, like you just said, because then like I'm a visual person and when I can see it, I'm like, oh, that's so much better. That makes more sense. Okay, sorry, let me get through my non-negotiables. So gym for me, 3 days a week. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday to Orange Theory. The second thing that's non-negotiable is I eat every 2 hours. That's part of the program that I created, the Fit Fam Plan. I eat every 2 hours. I remember saying there is no way that I could do this because I have a hard time remembering to even eat lunch. But part of what I do every Sunday is I make 24 protein muffins. I have like I prep my meals on Sunday for like the week. And so I have like ground turkey in the fridge and vegetables that I can dip in hummus and like different things to set myself up for success. For me, my number one trigger is exercise. If I exercise in the morning, I'm a better person, I'm a better spouse, I'm a calmer mom, I'm a better realtor. I'm just like a better version of me if I exercise. So non-negotiable is gym 3 days a week, eat every 2 hours, date night every Friday. So when I hire a nanny, I let them know we do date night every Friday. You're going to come in later on a Friday because date nights are non-negotiables for me. Um, Having dinner with my kids is a non-negotiable for me. I really enjoy that. That's part of like I had kids so I could actually
and
be around
it's
them.
important.
Yep. And
So,
then prayer time. We pray at nighttime before bed with our kids. Those are my
Rachel,
non-negotiables.
what does it feel like when you don't do that?
I just feel like that's such a good question. When I don't pray with my kids, I feel like I'm cheating them. I feel like I'm not ending my night with gratitude. And my kids are little, so a lot of times they call it silly prayer and they like, they're like the love of God surrounds me, and they're like running around the room, but like it's still a connection. And I think for me, like our world, you guys, is so crazy as realtors. I'm always looking for like where I can have a grounding force, where I can feel like my feet on the ground and I can have a deep breath, because we are for a lot of realtors, we have this frenetic energy around us. It's like like the appraiser needs you, the lockbox didn't get put on, like like your clients, like I know my phone is upside down for a reason, because if I flipped it over I wouldn't be able to focus on you guys. But my kids also know my office doors are closed and mommy is in a meeting from 9 until 10:15. 10:15 to 10:30, I'm going to be out there with them, snuggling them for 10-15 minutes. Then at 10:30, I have a phone call. Because guess what that is, guys? That's time blocking. Michelle, can you talk a little bit about the importance of time blocking in your world? Because you run 5 offices, you're married, you have 2 kids. Like, we obviously have some tips around time blocking, but can you share a little bit about it for you?
Yes, yes. I always want to talk about what are the activities that are bringing me the biggest return and that I'm doing it, right? So I really time block that and I add that to the calendar first. And I also talk about in the end, did it bring me joy?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's important. If you, I don't know why it's like blocking out over here if there's like a shadow of some sort.
You're good.
But so just make sure when you are time blocking and you look at the activities and you look at the results, did it bring you joy? Because if not, you need to change it up. You need to change it up because it's not going to end up being the best calendar for you and you won't be doing it anymore. You won't be looking at it anymore. Right. So with me, I definitely get up every single morning and go work out. I work out probably 4 to 5 times a week. I have to because it brings me clarity in my mind and it helps out with the stress. And if I'm not doing that, it definitely brings into a very negative vibe for the rest of the day. So yes, and I would have to say we do like a scorecard at the end of the day with a lot of my coaching clients, and it's high accountability for each one of them.
Time blocking, we say it's a powerful tool for managing your time and increasing efficiency. So a lot of times I feel like people are stressed about time blocking, but in reality, the more you block time, the more you actually find that you have time in your schedule. Because for me, like this changed my entire life. So my husband said to me one day, because I was like, I time block all the time, right? So I'm a time block type of person. However, I would time block and I would have a meeting. I'm going to tell you something that changed my entire life. I'm not joking. It just happened like 6 months ago. So I would time block and I would have a call at 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11, 11 to 11:30, 11:30 to 12. So all my time was time blocked and I felt good because I was like, yeah, I totally time block. But I still felt stressed throughout the day because I never left any time for what I call white space. White space, you guys.
You
So
need that.
now, yes, Christine, we will show a
Yes,
card. We will totally
I
show it to
will.
you. But now what I do is I will have a meeting and I'll have a meeting go from 10 to 10:30. And then my next meeting doesn't start until 10:45 or 11. So like, for example, when I end the class today with you guys at 10:15, I gave myself 10:15 to 10:30 to breathe. Maybe if I need to make an emergency phone call or I spend some time with my kids and then I jump in at 11. I really want to encourage you when you're starting to do this time blocking efficiently and you're practicing this, give yourself some white space. If you can give yourself a half hour in between appointments, I promise you're going to fill them. But try to give yourself a half hour. If you can't do a half hour, give yourself 15 minutes. But what I'm saying is 15 minutes from when something starts till something begins so you can breathe, eat a snack. Like I have to eat every 2 hours. And so it's like I really do need to be super intentional with like what I do and how I do it.
Rachel, what's important is when you don't give yourself that white space, that time to breathe, you're going to start experiencing that burnout feeling because you're just going and
Yeah.
going and going and going. And that's not what you want. This is
No,
why.
and you don't
Go
have to
ahead.
work every minute of every day.
No, you don't.
I
And it's
think
okay.
mhm. I
It
think
is
it's important to have
okay.
some space in here for like what this looks like. Christine's asking if we can share the journey of how we got here. She's struggling with allowing other people to override her and her time. How do you make this non-negotiable?
Okay, so you need to like take a deep breath and write down your non-negotiables. You have to. It's so important. I think it's also important to do those vision boards so you can actually see what's going on for the rest of the year and what your dreams are. And you have to have integrity for yourself and hold yourself up at that highest level and say, no, I am going to pray with my kids tonight. I am going to have dinner with my family tonight. I am going to go work out tonight. And I'm sorry, but I will be there for you in 60 minutes. I promise you I will. And just know or give them a time that you will be able to reach back out to them or that you will meet them. Because in the end, you guys, if you're not feeling that joy and feeling that calmness, it's not worth it. It's just crazy and you're going to get burnt out. It just
I
that's the
think I agree with you. I think, for me, like in the beginning, I wanted to be everything to everyone all the time. And I felt a lot of pressure that I really needed to like constantly like perform, if you will. And I had to be what my husband and I say, like we had to be on. And so before I met Ryan, I was on all the time. I was everything to everyone all the time. My clients had a birthday party for their kids. I was there. Happy hours, you name it. Like listing presentation, buyer presentation. I worked super early in the morning till late at night. And you know what happened, Christine? I ended up in the hospital with dehydration because I put everybody else's needs in front of my own, including hydration. Like I wasn't drinking water. How many realtors suck at drinking water? Like literally raise your hand or tell me in the chat because that I know it's simple, but it's one of the hardest things for me to remember to do is to drink freaking water. I always have water, coffee, like you guys know, I always call it my hydration station. I have it all around, but it's one of those little things that's hard for me to remember to drink water. No time for water, only coffee. Um,
Marissa, you know what you need to stop doing. Stop
but
drinking.
it is a gentle process you want to start. So like what I did, like I said, I would honestly start with like writing down, like do this exercise tomorrow. Is tomorrow, no, tomorrow's Thursday or Friday. So probably do it Monday and Tuesday because I want you to have 2 consistent days. So literally you're going to need to write down every single thing you do for 2 days. Then at the end of the day, or the end of those 2 days, you're going to go back through, you're going to circle your money making activities. What I realized is that like I was spending an hour and a half to go put on a lockbox. And my time is important. And a lockbox is something I could pay a runner $25 to do.
Yes.
So I
Leverage,
hired a
leverage,
runner.
leverage.
Yep. And so I picked things in my schedule that I could leverage out, that I could hire someone to do that was not the best use of my time, that was not making me more money, that was not giving me more time with my family. And I kept my highest and best uses of my time. Now, I also am very clear on what matters to me and what doesn't. And I will tell you, as I'm getting older, and if you are taking notes, please write this down. For me, I'm going to be 40 this year in September. I'm going to have a big party. Just wait. If it is not a hell yes for me, it's an absolute no. If it's
Yeah.
not a hell yes, like 100%, I want to do this, I will move things around in my schedule because this matters, then it's a no. So if it's not a hell yes, it's a heck no. So like honestly, think about in your life how many times you say yes to something when like if someone's like, "Hey, can you do this?" and that teeny moment in your mind where you're like, do I really?" That's a no. That is a no. If you
And it's
have
okay.
to, do I
You
really?
have to allow it.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
You
You
have
have
to.
to allow that because what happens if you don't, Michelle?
It's called burnt out.
So
It is.
how
It,
can you help identify priorities? Like what does this look like, Michelle? So obviously we have some tips for them, but like when you're looking at priorities, like how does this work for you in your world of like how you decide what matters more?
well, it's what brings you joy, you guys. At the bottom line is what is bringing you joy and what are those activities that are producing the results that you're looking for. And if it's somebody who's like knocking on your door, you should have a sign on your door saying, "Hey, I'm lead generating," or "Hey, I'm following up with clients. Please respect my time."
Mhm.
And your friends will respect your time. And I see a lot of coaching clients on here right now. They know I always say, "Did you have your sign on your door?" Or I always ask, "Do you have your sign on your door?" Did you allow it? Why did you allow it? When you told
Yeah.
me yesterday you wanted to make sure you close out the week with 2 more listings.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure, I always talk about have integrity for yourself, have
Mhm.
integrity for your family. Okay. So just make sure you are putting those items in your calendar that you will make sure you are doing for you, for your family, for your business, and for your joy.
All right, I want to walk through with you how to identify some priorities in your life. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. You're going to have work priorities. So you're going to have work priorities. And by that, I mean money-making activities, okay? So that's
Yeah.
going to be lead generation. That for me, like, and I'll show you guys my schedule in a minute. Like every single morning at 7:30, that's my time where I make my social media post. I either make a post or I put a reel out there. So 7:30, I'm time blocked for it. I do it at 7:30 because my kids wake up at 8 and I want to be able to see my kids and be present with them when they wake up at 8. Do I feel guilty about that? No, because for me, this is how I maintain the healthy work-life balance without having burnout, as I know what's important, right? So work priorities. So you're going to list your essential work tasks and your responsibilities, your money-making activities, personal priorities. I want you guys to identify your personal goals and what your family actually needs. Okay. Like Michele just said, what are your must do's? What must you do in your personal life that matters to you?
What are
Urgent.
the critical items, right, that generate
Mhm.
the
Urgent versus
return?
important. I want to say this, urgent versus important. In real estate, we tend to think everything is an emergency and everything is important. But you know what? Like if there is an appraiser who's trying to get into a door at your new listing, that is freaking important. I would stop something and I would answer that phone call. But if I'm at a listing presentation, I'm not going to see that phone call because my number one priority is being in front of that listing right then, right? So know what is urgent and what is important. If somebody is reaching out to me on social media, that's not urgent to me. Is it important? Yeah, I will get to it, but I have time blocking times, which you'll see on my schedule for social media. I'm not on social media all day long. In fact, I looked at my social media the other day. I'm on average an hour and 22 minutes a day. An hour and 22 minutes. This is how I run my whole business. All four of my companies are ran through social, and yet I can do them in an hour and 22 minutes a day because I time block effectively. And when I'm on social media, I use it to build my business, not just like mindlessly scroll. Okay. Next thing is aligning your values. Figuring out like you want, Michele said it in the very beginning, you want to make sure that your schedule reflects your values. If I heard this like really early on in my career and it kind of like hit home, they were like, if your mom was sitting behind you, assuming you have a good relationship with your mom, if your mom is sitting behind you watching you work, would she be proud of how you're showing up? Or if it's not your mom, what about one of your kids? We are teaching our kids how to be good adults, how to be good citizens of the world, how to be good employees, whatever job we do, right? Would your kids be proud of you? So let me ask you that. If your spouse, if your mom, if your kids were sitting next to you watching how you spend your day, would they be proud of you? Like,
You want to
ooh,
show up to be the
right?
best person that you can be for your spouse and for your children. That should be in your calendar whatsoever. It has to be. Like making sure you call, this sounds really crazy, but I do have to put in there. Make sure you call. I have to call my son. I have to call him every other day. I know he's in college and I'm the mama, but I'm still going to be calling him. And I want to make sure I do it. I want to make sure he knows that I'm sitting here thinking about him. And
Yep.
sometimes you do need to put that in your calendar because we go, 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 go.
Yep. I love that. Ashley said, I like the word harmonious with your schedule as you not spend equal time on everything, but you're giving your full attention to needed
Yes.
attention to the things you love. Okay, I've got two more of these for identifying priorities. So work priorities, personal priorities, urgent versus important, aligning with your values, setting boundaries. Setting boundaries. I have a specific script I'm going to give you in a few minutes here on how you can set boundaries with your clients, but with your clients and with people that you care about, it's important to set boundaries. And then reevaluate regularly. Sometimes you're going to have to adjust your priorities. Like I said, there are certain weeks where I crush it in being a mom and other weeks where I crush it in being a realtor. And often they're not the same week, you guys, but that is okay because this is how we learn how to grow and how we adjust in this process. Um, so let's talk about creating a time block schedule and what that actually looks like. This is kind of like, Michele, do you want to walk through some of the steps with them on how they can create a time blocked calendar?
Yes. So we could go to the next screen. I think it is.
We'll go through the list here, or do you want me to
Okay.
go through this and you go through the 411?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. So first thing you want to do when you're going to create your ideal calendar is you want to, like, I call it a brain dump. You want to get everything out of here and onto paper. Everything that's a to-do. I wish I could. How can I do this? What if I did? You're going to list all your tasks and your commitments. Commitment is like I committed to go to the gym. Task is like I have to call that seller on Thursday or go to this listing appointment, right? Then step two is you're going to categorize the tasks between work, family, and personal. You've got to have all three in here. Work is how we build our business and make our money. Family is taking care of the people that you love. And then personal is self-care, which we will talk about for a minute. But those all three need to be the three like pillars to creating your calendar. You're going to have work, family, and personal. Then step three is you're going to estimate the time that you need to do for each task, the time you need to do for each task. Then step four, you're going to give specific blocks of time for each task. I know for me to go to the gym, my gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is 8:15 to 9:15. That's how long it takes me to be there. It takes me 15 minutes to drive there and 15 minutes to drive home. So on my schedule, on my time block schedule, it reflects all of that, the drive time, the workout, driving home, getting breakfast. I know that for me to get ready in the morning, if I do a shower, I do my hair, I do my makeup, it takes me 30 minutes from getting in the shower till being done, hair dried, makeup on. 30 minutes is my routine. I know that, so it's in my calendar. And then step five, include buffer times for transition and breaks, like we talked about. I call that white space. And then step number six, review and adjust your schedule as needed. You guys, if you can learn these 6 steps, it is going to change your entire life. Brandy's asking how often we do this. I look at my schedule every Sunday with my husband. We map out our week every single Sunday. Part of it is because I have childcare and we have different things with all our kids, and Henry's starting preschool and he's in camps and like there's all the things. But we look at our schedule once a week, and my assistant, so Daniela is on here, my VA, she has access to my calendar, so she knows when she can reach out to me and when she can't. And she knows that if I'm in a listing presentation or I'm teaching a Zoom, I'm not going to be talking to her until it's over. That's just how it works. So Michele, you are going to go
We actually,
through.
yeah,
Do you want to get in here? Or do you want to go to the 411?
yeah. Let's go to the 411. I think we pretty much have gone over that. The
Okay, let me
screen
jump.
right
I'm
here.
going to
Yeah.
sneak ahead.
So while you're doing
Let's
that,
talk a little bit about morning routine.
yes. So I think it's very important because you have a choice every single morning, right? Of how you wake up and how you're going to rock your day. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's Monday. And I just got off of the 4th of July weekend. I'm so tired. What's another, morning sleeping in? So what helps me, I don't know if you had a chance to watch Mel Robbins, right? It's 5 4 3 2 1, and you just change your mindset and you do it, and you just get up and you go. And we all have a choice every single day on how we're going to attack the day. And what is your choice going to be? How are you going to be the best version of you every single day? So I encourage you to make sure you get up and you go, because clearly it sets the whole tone for the day. And if it's a Monday, it's going to set the whole tone for the week. So let's make sure we do that and make sure you're being the best person that you can be every single morning.
So one question that I like to ask myself, I put this into a
Huh?
reel one time, and I said, what would the best version of me do? What would the best version of me? I don't care what I want to do. What would the best version of me do? And if I was like laying in bed that morning and not wanting to get up and go to the gym, I ask myself, what would the best version of me do? Now, one thing that's sort of cool about Orange Theory, the workout class that I do, is they charge you $12 if you miss a class, and you have to cancel 8 hours before. So 8 hours before, I'm like, I got this. In the morning, I'm like, I don't got this, but also I don't want to waste $12. So I'm like, okay, I need to do this, right? Now question just came in, says, what with those of us with little babies waking up sometimes at night, how do you adjust your morning routine to thrive on those days? So
Well,
this
when
is
you get to
what
be
I
my
say.
age, girl, it doesn't matter. You don't need sleep.
So what I would say is some days you're going to survive and some days you're going to thrive. Like, and that just is like reality, because my little guy, so I didn't talk about this on social media, but Ryan was gone for an entire week. He went to Roatan and he went scuba diving with his dad for his 80th birthday for a full week. And I wanted to give that gift to both of them, right? But I was in major sleep deprivation mode. So by Monday morning, I was at the gym, and my trainer is also my really good friend, and he's an agent on our team. And he came up and he's like, hey girl, how we doing? You guys, I burst into tears at the gym on the way floor. I'm like, ah. But sleep deprivation is so real. And if you don't have sleep, it can jack up everything. And I remember being like new mom, like when you're postpartum, you expect it. You know you're not going to get to sleep. But when you're in, when you have a 1.5-year-old, 2.5-year-old, 5-year-old, you think you're going to sleep, but for some reason they didn't. And so what I have to say to you is some days you're going to thrive and some days you're going to survive. And if I need to cost myself $12 to not go to the gym that morning, I don't feel guilt and I don't feel like I ruined my life and my day because I'm consistently doing the right thing. And if I don't work out that day, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna eat donuts and chips and potatoes and, I don't know, I say potatoes, but like pizza that night. Like my whole day is not screwed because what would the best version of me do? If I'm tired, then maybe I need sleep more than the gym that morning. And Ryan says that to me sometimes. He's like, you are so go, go, go. Maybe you need sleep more than you need X. I am like the worst ever when we're watching a show that I'm really into. I always am like, just one more show, just one more show at night. I get like really excited. We're watching The Good Doctor right now. I don't know if any of you've seen it. It's really good. It's about like an autistic doctor and I love it. And I want to watch one more show. And he's like, babe, what would the best version of you do? I'm like, don't turn that on me. Don't do that.
Love it. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. All right.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about work tasks and client meetings. So when you have work tasks and client meetings, when we just want to talk specifically about work right now, we call it task batching. So like if you are doing, I always say if I'm going to train an agent, I train all my agents. I do group trainings. And Michelle does that too, because if you can have one conversation and hit everybody at the same time,
So
do
much easier.
absolutely.
So
And
much easier.
prioritize. There are different things in your day that matter. So like whenever I look at my schedule, I always call it a to-do list. For me, I break it down to two. I have a to-do list and I have a have to-do list. To-do list and a have to-do list. The have to-do list is
Priority.
if I don't get this done by the end of the day, my business suffers, my family suffers, my health suffers. That's a have to do. The other stuff is a to-do list and it gets put in like different parts of the day or the week. Setting boundaries, we're going to talk about that. Making sure to prepare. I don't get to my day that same day and be like, what do I got going today? I always look at it on Sunday and then the night before.
I
Sunday.
always look at it the night before. I have to set
Do you
myself up.
now, Michelle, do you ever look at your schedule and realize you have too many things that day and see what you can take off your plate?
Most definitely, because it has to be, if it's going to generate the activities that I really want to see or the results that I want to see, I take it off.
Yeah.
I really set boundaries on who I'm going to allow to be a part of my day, right?
Yeah.
Because we are all so busy. And a lot of my coaching clients know this because I always ask them, why did you allow that?
Yeah.
Why did you allow that? You're the first person. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I did allow it. So what am I going to do differently tomorrow? How am I going to show up differently tomorrow that it'll catapult me to the next result that I'm looking for?
I also think it's okay to like look at the people you have in your life. And if you have that person who always your phone rings,
Trains you
you see their name on your phone and you're like, ugh,
again.
you now have an appointment. You have an appointment. You cannot do that call. You cannot meet with them. Like you
And
have
it's
to time
okay.
block for that. You do. It is okay. It really is okay. And
Yeah,
then after
you
you
love them,
get
but
through your
I mean,
day,
sometimes it just messes up your day.
yes. Do you guys have, so if I asked you in your life, who is that one person who is like your absolute, I call him energy vampire? Who is your energy vampire in your life that takes your time, that adds nothing to your life, but you give part of you to them? You don't have to put it in here in case that they're watching, but
And can you say that
sometimes,
you allow it?
and
We
sometimes it's
allow that.
family. Sometimes it's family, and that's really hard. But I do think having stronger boundaries is really important. And then follow up what you did. I always say, like, when I'm looking at my day, I do a 4-part system. I'm like, what is my goal for the day? So, like, this is my personal thing I do. 4 steps. What's my goal for the day? She's 7. Her name's Mia. So, what is my goal for the day? What are the tasks I need to do to achieve the goal? So,
Yes.
step 1, what is my goal? Step 2, what are the tasks I need to do to achieve the goal? And at the end of the day, I'm like, how did I do? And if
Yes.
I didn't achieve it, then I say, what can I do differently tomorrow to achieve a different result?
Yeah. And sometimes you got to take it and put it on tomorrow's list, and you
You
have
guys
to
want me to
do
say
it.
that one more time? Probably. Okay. So, what is my goal? What are the tasks I need to do to achieve the goal? How did I do? What can I do tomorrow to achieve a different result? Oops. Okay, let's talk a little bit about personal time and self-care because this is really important. And I think one of the biggest thing that people are okay with like dropping is taking care of us.
That
Michelle,
needs to
you
be in
want
your
to touch on this
calendar.
a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Well, as you can see, I'm in Huntington Beach having a blast for this whole week. However, this was important to us to be on today. So it's really important because it recharges you, right? And you need to make sure you put those in the beginning of the year. When are you going to go on vacation? When and where? If you know the where and you know the how, you put it in. You make sure it happens because that's self-care and it brings you joy and it recharges you. She wants you to recite there's something else here. What is
Oh,
my
yeah. So it's what is my goal? What are the tasks I need to do to achieve the goal? And then how did you do? So beginning of the week, I'm like, what is my goal this week? What are the tasks I need to do to achieve the goal? Then at the end, I'm like, how did I do? And then the next last part is what do I need to do to achieve a different result?
Okay, so let me explain something. So the last 14 years, I gave 150% of myself, and I didn't take time away for myself. This past 12 months, I promised myself that I was going to do it, and I was going to put vacation in, and I was going to take time in, and I was going to I was going to be healthy for myself, not just for people around me, for myself.
Yeah.
So I put it in my calendar. I made sure that I was going to be working out. I made sure I was going to take this week off. And I had people around me holding me accountable to it. So I
Good
think it's
for
very
you.
important to make sure you add this to your
Well,
calendar.
and I will say, because I know you very well, I was concerned about you because I felt like the life was taken from you. I felt like you didn't have joy in your face anymore, like your skin was dull. And it's
Yeah,
because you were like giving everything to everyone else. And I knew that look because I've had that look.
right.
And then you finally said, enough is enough. And you decided you needed to like pour back into yourself. And like I genuinely feel like you glow now. Like people, I feel like you look so beautiful, but it's because you're good on the inside and it shows on the outside. You know what I mean?
Thank
Like
you.
you're welcome. And I mean that truly because like I having, I'm going to come at it from the young mom perspective, but having a 4, a 2 and a 1-year old, like that is a lot and they're my most important people besides my husband. And you know who is not the most important person is me. I don't make myself a priority. I make my family a priority. And when people are like, what do you do for self-care? Like this sounds really like whatever. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
My husband is golfing today. He was just in Roatan for the week. And then he came home on Saturday at midnight. And then he sent me a text and was like, hey, do you mind if I golf on Thursday? And he also said, you can say no. And I want my husband to be the best version of him. And
Yeah.
if I didn't have something I needed him to do today. We work in business together. So we run our companies together. I didn't have something I needed him to do today. And I want him to be the best version of him. So I do that. But do you want to know what I do a lot of time for self-care? I freaking work, you guys. But it's not on my real estate business. It's not on my real estate business. It's on my coaching. It's on my coaching programs and my coach. It's like for me to have self-care, I need like my creative juices flowing. And I am so excited to create courses and programs and offers for agents to help you guys. Like that is a way for me to do self-care. Now, do I get massages? Yes. Every Friday at 2 o'clock, my husband and I get an hour and a half massage. A lot of times I don't want to go to it because I'm like, I'd so much rather work. And Ryan's like, nope, this is why you have to do it because you will not do it if it's not in your calendar. So like I truly, truly have to give myself that I have to block it, have it in my calendar and have it be a non-negotiable, but also have an accountability partner. If you are struggling with making yourself a priority, I urge you to find someone on this class or find someone in your office or ask your best friend to help them hold you accountable to have self-care because it's the number one thing I see realtors neglect is taking care of ourselves. And it's so simple, you guys, but it's like, it's so dang hard. Drinking water, I talked about it before, but like drinking water for me is a challenge. Saying no to people is a challenge because I want to like make everyone feel important and make everyone feel special. And I'm worried that if I say no, they won't feel that. But at the end of the day, everybody wants you to live your best life and they want you to respect yourself and your own boundaries. And when you do start to do that, like it matters. And you know what matters the most, you guys? Your mental health. If you are
Most definitely.
taking care of you,
Rachel, I'm going to answer this question. This was really, really good. Somebody asked, how do you work through the new boundaries that I have set with people who are in my world with the previous old habits I had? Um, let me see who this is. Christina. or Christine, I actually sat them down and I said, I cannot go to every association party. I can't because I give my all to you guys during the day. And in the evening by 6 o'clock, I want to be home. I want to be home with my husband and I want to be home with my family. And they respect it. They don't, my agents, my team, they don't push on it at all because I actually sat them down and I said, in order for me to have joy, in order for me to be happy, I need to say no to this. If it's something that is so important to you for me to show up at, I will be there. But if it's something that it goes on and there's going to be another one and there's going to be another one and there's going to be another one, I cannot do it and I will not do it. And it's there's this one agent that comes in my mind and I love her to pieces because in the past she's like, you've got to be there, you got to be there. But you know what? She totally gets it now.
Mhm.
She understands because she probably saw the old version of me and now she sees the new version of me, which is very nice. It's nice to be able to breathe again. So I encourage you, if you, Christine, have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about this.
I'll tell you too, like I always say, like start with the end result that you want in
Yes.
mind. I had a situation in my life where I decided that this is pre-Ryan. I decided that in order to be the best version of myself, I was going to stop drinking alcohol for 90 days. And you guys know I love me a good but I was like, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol. So I went to one of my, and I realized that a lot of my friends at that point in my life, this was like early on in my real estate career, like we would drink on the weekends, we would go to happy hours, we would do this and that. And that was like sort of like my life when I was younger and single. I, what happened is I went to one of my friends and I was like, hey, this is going to sound kind of crazy. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but I've decided I'm going to stop drinking for 90 days. Like it might be kind of dumb, but, and she was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, no, thank you. We're not like, don't do that. And I was like, oh, that didn't go well. So the next friend that I talked to, I literally sat down with her and I said, hey, um, I know that you love me and you care about me. And because you're someone who loves and care about me, there's something that I really have to talk to you about. And I want to become the best version of me. And I've realized that one thing that's holding me back is drinking. And so I'm going to stop drinking for 90 days. And because you're someone who loves me and cares about me, I was hoping in a weak moment, um, could I reach out to you for support? How different do those two conversations sound? One, I was like, I don't know, maybe if. The other one, I'm like, because you love me and care about me, I want your support. And she was like, oh my God, I'm all in. She's like, maybe I'll stop
That's
drinking with
beautiful.
you.
That is
And it was,
beautiful.
and it was so powerful. So this conversation can go the exact same way, you guys. It can literally go, because you love me and care me, I have to tell you that I have had horrible boundaries and I've been doing everything for everyone else. And I've realized that I have no time left for me and I feel completely drained at the end of the day. So I'm going to have to start to say some no to some things. Now, if it's super important and it matters to you and it's like a make or break, then please let me know. But otherwise, like I'm going to need to start to say no. I promise you, just like Michelle said, the conversation is going to go differently and be different.
And it's
Um,
okay. It is literally okay. So my new OP, I love him with all my heart and soul. He will actually look at me like, give me that look. I'm like, oh yes, oh yeah, I forgot. I wasn't supposed to be doing that anymore, right? So if you surround yourself with people who truly, truly care about you, they'll help you get to where you want to be.
yeah,
They will. I
absolutely.
mean, look at us. Look at us, Rachel.
I know. It's wild too, because like, Michelle and I we messaged last night to prep for this. We talked this morning to prep for this, but we're also both very busy and running businesses and having families. So it was like this matters to us. So we made this a priority. But when this is over, my commitment to you guys is to get you the things I promised I'd get you. I'm gonna get you the recordings, we're gonna get you the documents we talk about, and then I release it. And I want you to live your best life. And I want you to learn how to time block more effectively. And my gosh, hopefully put in some care. But like this is what matters is being able to effectively choose how you spend your time because everybody has the same amount of time in the day. Everybody has 24 hours. But why are some people more successful than others? Why are they more successful? Because it's how they choose to use their time. It's what they say
And how
to.
honest are you to yourself?
Yeah.
How much integrity are you going to have? You guys, I can see a few people like logging off because I think we're getting close to time. So and
So it's 9:52. We're good. If they have to get off, it's because they have time blocked for something else. Keep going. We're good.
All right, keep
So
going. Let's go.
flexibility and adaptability. So the one thing I will say is as you're going through this, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to miss some appointments. You're going to be late for something else. But the only way that you can do this is to get better and be flexible and adapt to it. And so expect changes. Know
Yeah,
that things are going to happen and they're going to go in your way. And that's why the white space is super important. Sometimes
breathe.
I have to call and I have to change a listing appointment. I don't like to do it. It's my least favorite thing to do. But you know what? I tell them what's going down and they usually respect it. Having the buffer times, reassess regularly, stay calm. Nothing is more
Reassess.
important than taking a deep freaking breath sometimes, you guys. Prioritize what matters to you in your life and then delegate. The things that are not making you money, that do not directly need you, delegate. I don't show property. I have a showing agent. I haven't shown property in years unless I want to, or it's a luxury buyer or one of my really good friends. Otherwise, I delegate it. We got a couple things more before we jump into the actual calendars. How to overcome challenges. Like the common challenges we all face usually, last minute client demands, distractions. You guys get the heck
People
off.
knocking on your door,
Get
your
off
office
social
door.
media. Get off social media. I'm going to say it 50 times till you hear me. It is what I do for a business, for a living, but it is the number one distraction that most realtors face is social media. If you are not using it effectively to build your business, guys, then do not be on social media. I fall victim to it too when I'm like, oh, I'm going to just look for a reel today. And then an hour later, I'm like, wait, what was I doing? Oh crap, I'm late. Work will creep in. It always is going to creep in. You're going to have guilt. You're going to have burnout, but it's also like you just, yeah, social is a time warp supper, right? Like it just, these things take your day. They take your time. One question that came in was what calendar app do we use? I use, mine looks like this. It's this little calendar in the corner. I will find out the name for you guys of it. It's my favorite. I like it because it's calendar coded or color coded. And I can like, I have specific calendars for my real estate team that are in red. So I know if it's a team thing I need to do, if it's a money making activity, I can do it in green. If it's a family thing with Rye, it goes in blue. I
This
will
is
get you guys
mine.
the name of it.
You guys, this is the app that comes on your iPhone. I don't even do anything. I don't download it. Call me old, whatever. I just use the app that came with my phone and I time block. And I share my calendar with two of my virtual assistants. Thank God for them because they just keep on making appointments. And we have different because I have to be in different offices on different days and they use that calendar. It's easy. You don't need to get you don't just use a calendar. How about that? You don't need to download anything.
It's
Just
like, you know
use
how they say like
calendar.
what's the best
Yeah.
what is the best calendar or like what's the best
Oh,
CRM? It's the
CRM. Yeah,
it's the same
CRM.
thing with the calendar,
Yeah.
whichever one
Just
you're
use
going to
it.
use.
Just
Um
use it.
Okay, I'm going to give you guys a script on how you can set boundaries with clients, and then Michelle's going to go over with you what's called the 411, which is a really cool tool. This webinar, as you guys saw, went from 9 to 10:15, so we've got about 20 minutes left, so keep hanging in with us, guys. So how to set boundaries with clients. Now, I'm going to walk you through this exercise because this is super duper important, and then Michelle's going to take the next 2 slides. The reason that I came up with this script is because I was working in the beginning before I met Ryan. I was working like literally 7 in the morning till like 10:30 at night. I didn't want to miss a call. I didn't want to miss a listing. I didn't want to miss an opportunity. So I felt I had to be fully available. But the reality is, I'm a professional. I'm a professional realtor, and so are you. And so it's darn time we act like it and have some healthy boundaries around our clients. So what this looks like, and I will say someone asked me this question before, and I was saying it's really hard to do this initially. When I'm working with a client right now, I would not have this conversation and set the boundary. If you're already working with the client, you're screwed. You don't have boundaries. Too bad. But moving forward, we're going to help you have better work-life balance, right? Because if you have this like now all of a sudden set a boundary with them, they're going to be like, what are you doing? This is awkward. This is weird. So you're going to do this for all new clients that you have. So every single time, and I will attach this in when I send you the goodies from this call, I'll make sure to attach this. I'm going to just write that down. I'm going to do the getting to know you sheet. We need to do the 411 and then I
And
can do,
scorecard. I need to send them the scorecard too.
okay,
We
score.
didn't put a slide on that, but I'll do that.
You can talk. You probably could pull it up on your computer. So what this script, this is what I do. So when I'm sitting down with a buyer or a seller, I have this sheet called the Getting to Know You sheet. And what we do is I say to them, so we're doing the buyer consultation, the listing consultation. This is what I use to put their information in my CRM, by the way. I say to them, so what time would you say you get ready in the morning and kind of start your day? And they're like, I don't know, probably around like 8 or 9 or so. I'm like, okay, awesome, 8 or 9. And what time do you end your day and kind of get home and kind of like, regroup and start to make dinner and stuff? They're like, I don't know, probably around 6 or 7. I'll say, okay, so is it safe to say that the best times to get a hold of you is maybe like, 9 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night? And they're like, yeah, I mean, that's fine, but you really can call me any day or any time, right? I'll be like, what's so funny? Your hours are really similar to mine. I'm actually available from 9 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night. Now, if something happens, by all means, reach out to me and I will do my best if it's an emergency to get back to you. But otherwise, I'll get back to you the next business day. So I ask them what their best hours are. I always lead with the client, not myself. Then I say, oh my gosh, your hours are really similar to mine. So weird. This is when you can get a hold of me. If you need me, if it's an emergency, reach out. Otherwise, I'll get back to you the next business day. And that sounds fantastic. And they're like, I'm in, great. But you just set up their custom portal, guys, and they go home and they pop open a bottle of wine and they're super excited. And they're like, oh my gosh, I want to talk to Rachel. It's 9:30. And they send me a text message. If they send me a text at 9:30, I've now set my new boundary that they can reach out to me till 9:30. And it's like, if I don't respect my own time, how can I ever expect them to? So this one script gave me my life back. It gave me my life back to be able to, when I could work in my hours and have it. And what happens is they still will send me a text at 8 o'clock at night. But you know what they say? Hey, Rachel, I know it's after hours. Don't respond until tomorrow, but. And you know what I do? I don't respond until tomorrow. Because otherwise, again, if I don't respect my boundary, how can I expect them to? This is a game changer. Ashley is asking for me to repeat the script. Ashley, this is on YouTube. This exact script is on YouTube. And when I send out the recording, I will give you guys the YouTube video of this script. And know that whenever you go to my YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube/Rachel Adams Lee, you guys can subscribe there. But whenever I have a script I talk about in a video, it's also going to be written out in the description of the video for you, so you don't have to try to record it or whatever. Okay, Michele, we're gonna go ahead.
I just sent the scorecard to your text. Can you pull it up?
I can when we get to that part. Yes. Tools and apps, just super quickly, helping you guys be able to use your calendar. Google Calendar. If you don't have a calendar, just get Google. It's the easiest.
It alerts you.
And Asana. These are ways for scheduling if you need some organization. Google Keep, as you guys know, is my best friend. It's how I prep
love it.
posts. It's my hashtag sets. Google Keep is my
everything.
favorite thing that I use. I can walk you guys through how I use that.
Don't you also use it for your personal as well? I use it for my personal items, for my business
everything.
items.
When I literally when I'm deciding how to when I'm deciding how I'm going to do a coaching course, I have Google Keep and I write out all my ideas. For my coaching content, I do that. For AVIDs, I prep all my AVIDs in Google Keep and then I transfer them to my email. Google Keep.
I have my scripts right there. So if somebody tries to text me and I'm in a meeting, just copy paste it.
Calendly, this is really cool if you are needing to have time blocked availability. So when I'm doing, because I do one-on-one social media audits, when I do an audit for somebody, I always give a Calendly link and it has specific times that are available in my schedule. I don't be like, hey, when's good to meet for you? You will never hear me say that to someone as long as I live. I give them 2 or 3 times that I can do. I never ask them when's good for them. I'm like, these are the times that I can do. What works for you? But I never am just open, come get me when you need me. I do Calendly because you can block and I love that. Someone says, do you use digital or paper? I map out on paper, but digital is my entire life. My whole life.
Have everything all reading each other as well. That way you have other people help you out and leverage.
Can you walk through with them what a 411 is? And then I'll show the example and then we can show the blank.
Okay, go ahead. Well, let's go to the example so I can actually show it. So it's 1 year, 1 month, 4 weeks, right? So right down here is the 1 year. So what you're going to do is prioritize your personal goals, right? So it could be, going to the family vacation, making sure you're taking time off, reading the Bible, going to the gym. And then when you go on to the business side, that's when you're going to set your goals, like the volume you want to reach, how many transactions you want to close. And if it's not, business, real estate related, it's any business that you're in, any business that you're in, you can put your annual goals here, and then you trigger it down to the month. Go ahead and go to the next page, please.
Okay, and so just real quickly, guys, annual goals, this is what your goal is for the year. So a
Yes.
lot of people don't like, they're like, annual is not a word they resonate with. So this is what your yearly goal
You
is. So this
have
is going to
to
be
do
like your
this.
6 top goals for the year. For me, it would be like 3 days a week at the gym, eating every 2 hours, date night every Friday, launch the social selling realtor. Like I have specific things I want to do for that year.
And this can change though, Rachel. It can change just because in the movement of the year and what is happening. You can go back and update it, and you have to be okay with that.
So then you move on to monthly. So you take your
Yeah.
year and you break
And
it down
that's the
by
next
12 months.
that's the next screen.
It's on here. Can you see it? It says monthly.
Okay. Okay, so yep, sorry. Yep, I didn't see that. So when you look at it, it's like, so how many times are you going to go, to right here, it's to go to the games. How many workouts are you going to do per week, right? I love how this one says hug your kids every single day and speak life and be real to them. That is so beautiful. And how many times are you going to be cooking? During the month yourself, right? So, and then how many times are you going to read the Bible? How many times are you going to go to the church? Also, when you go to the business side, you're going to be talking about, yes, the social media. I saw a couple questions in the chat. How do you break it up? Well, you break it up by putting it into your calendar, putting and in a time slot so you know, and who the people you need to meet with, on a monthly basis. Put this in your monthly calendar. How many listings are you going to take? Put it in your calendar, put it in the monthly goals right here. And it also adds like how many reels are you going to be doing per month. And it's like door knocking, how many times per week, how many days or what days. She actually puts what days and what times she's going to be doing it. And when you break it out, during the week, that's when you really want to get detailed. What day you can go to the next slide, doll.
Okay.
When you go to the week, you're going to want to put what day you're actually going to go and do the activity. What day you're going to cook, what day you're going to be, doing your calls and your texting and your handwritten notes. So I don't know if you can see, like, this is like green light, red light, right? So the green is what you do best. And this is when you're looking at it week to week to week to week, right? And when you don't have, okay, so this is the blank one, right? But when you don't do it, that's when you're going to put red. And then obviously you want to see more green and then red. That means you're doing something right and you're staying on task. And it's an accountability for yourself as well. And
Are
then,
you guys able to see the screen? Lena's saying she can't see the screen. Can you guys see the blank 411 example right now?
okay, so you can.
Oh,
Okay,
they can. Okay, good.
okay, perfect.
Oh,
So this
some
is a blank one, right?
some
So
can see it, some can't. That's so weird.
okay. So we'll go ahead and send out this blank one for you.
Yes, we're gonna send you the recording of this call. We're gonna give you my getting to know you sheet I use for my clients to be able to do to be able to set the boundary. We're gonna give you a blank 411 for you to be able to work. Don't worry, it's small because we're doing it on a presentation, but you guys will get a copy of
Pull
it.
of that too. And like make it larger.
Okay, so let me really quick. So we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna have her show the scorecard. We're gonna have a little bit of time for Q&A. But we wanted to just jump in a couple quick things for you, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat here. So we're gonna leave. We have some time for Q&A. We have a couple other things for you. One thing I do want to share with you is Michele is one of the coaches with Level Up Coaching, which is my coaching company, and she's offering free one-on-one coaching calls to help you guys master your schedule and get better with your time. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 links in the chat right now. I will also send these out with the email. If you're an agent, there's a specific form you're going to fill out. If you're a team leader, there's another form that you're going to fill out. Okay. So I'm going to send this right now to everybody.
So
Just put it
if
in
you're
the
a leader in any business, just fill out the leader. If you aren't an agent, just go ahead and just fill out the agent one so I can get to know you before we meet. It's 30 minutes that we could do this in. I saw a question here. Can we start the 411 even though we're halfway through the year? Yes, you can. I can help you with that. Sign up.
Question for those of us with multiple businesses, is coaching available or only agents? 100%. Yeah, this is any industry. We can help you. Like, this is truly what we do. So she's offering free one-on-one 30-minute coaching calls for in any industry that you're in to help you just get clarity on like your business, your goals, how you're spending your time blocking. She's very, very good at that and efficient. And this was actually her idea to do this specific topic. So I wanted to make sure that we share all the things with Michele because she's so amazing. So that link is here for you guys. If you're an agent, you get a 30-minute free coaching call. Go ahead and fill it out. If you're a team leader or a different business, go ahead and fill that out. Couple things I've got for you. This is really exciting. It is not public on social media yet, but it's something that I'm working on. We're going to be launching this in October, but it is called the Social Selling Realtor. And it is a new course that I'm working on. Everyone is always asking me, not just for like social media help, but like my actual systems, my lead magnets, my templates from my admin, like my buyer and seller guides, how I do stories. And so I am creating a new course called the Social Selling Realtor. So this is not just going to be about social media. This is going to be about building a business that converts scripts. This is going to be the whole system for how you can build a real estate business that's thriving, with a heavy emphasis on social media because that's my jam. I'm going to be giving you like templates for my last 2 listings have been expired listings. And so I'm giving my expired listing templates. I don't call expired listings. I text them, guys, and I convert the heck out of them. And I'm going to teach you that. All my systems for Flowdesk, ManyChat, StanStore, how to post, when to post, all the things. So if you guys went on the list, you can join the wait list. Scan that QR code right here. You get first access to the course. This will be launching in October. I'm going to be working on it. I have one thing I'm launching before this, but you guys will be the first to get to see it. 2 more things for you. Oh wait, there should be one. Is there one before that? Did I miss it? Nope. Okay. So if you guys are looking for leverage in the social media space and you are wanting to do more with video, but you don't know how to do it, I got over 100 referrals last year through social media, and a massive way that I do it is through video. So we have the weekly reel service. It's under $100, and every single week you guys get a trending reel on real estate that I create for you. All you have to do is record the raw footage that I tell you. You have a full week to do it. You send it to my team. I edit it. I write the caption. I do the wording for you. I give you the hashtags, the geo hashtags, the trending audio. We went from 11,000 followers on Instagram to 36,000 this year, and it's all through my social media content. So I help you do the same, grow your following, get more referrals. And then the last thing is if Michele does more one-on-one coaching than I do. I'm very selective on my few that I do. So I have a group coaching program. It's $29 a month. Michele is in there. Most of the people on this webinar are in here. We've got about 400 agents in there. We just got 10 new that joined yesterday. It's $29 a month to coach with me twice a month. Everything from how to like break into the luxury market to like, I did this Instagram post and it failed. What do I do? I'm hiring my first admin. We just went through, like, I have these pre-foreclosure notices. Like, I have pre-foreclosure letters that I give out, and I went through these with everybody. Like, anything I can do to help you build your business, I'm so down to help. And yeah, so in Spain, I love it. You're in there.
Love it.
Bobby says it's the best group she's in. It's so much fun. Okay, we've got some time for Q&A. I'm going to make the screen bigger. Thank you so much to everybody for coming on, hanging out today, learning more about time blocking. I hope you guys got some value out of today and definitely helped you build your mindset a little bit stronger, some boundaries a little stronger. Let's go ahead and unmute anyone that has questions. We've got about 4 minutes left. So any questions anyone has, we're so, so happy to help you. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey.
Just really quickly wanted to jump on. First of all, thank you so much again for doing all this.
Welcome. Congrats on your baby.
Thank you so much. And yes, that was going to be my question is, I know obviously you have 3 littles yourself.
Yeah.
And, I know everything kind of gets better and everything also changes. So I just wanted your advice on, especially with the newborn phase, with things being so, not routine and every day being different and every night, like you said, being different in terms of how much sleep you might get. What are your kind of biggest pieces of advice when it comes to trying to be consistent and, hitting your goals and all of that?
I love that. I love this question. When I'm postpartum, exercise isn't part of my world because I'm healing. Obviously, you're not healing, but you're taking care of your person who is healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing that I did when it came to work is let me put the coaching crew link in here really quick. I'm going to put the coaching crew link and then the weekly reel link in here for you guys, so you have both of them. So there's weekly reel. Here's the coaching crew is coming up next. Okay, both of mine are in the chat if you want to join the coaching crew, or if you guys want to do weekly reels. What I would say is what I learned for work is I could not commit to like 11 a.m. because I didn't know if 11 a.m. meant a blowout, this, that, like things were crazy. So I said that I will reach out to you sometime between 11 and 1. I gave myself like 2-hour blocks. That was the only way that I could come up with that I could still commit to something, but without being like, this is where I'm at. But I also was really transparent of like, hey, I have a newborn baby. I'm still working. And I can meet with you between 11 and 1. I don't know the exact time. Do you have some flexibility for me? And I was just really transparent about like where I was at in the season I was in, and people responded super well. I think like in the beginning when I first had kids, I was like, oh, I have to run to the other room if the phone rings because I don't want them to hear a baby crying. And I thought people might not take me as seriously if they knew I had like a young child. But I also think it's really important to embrace who you are and where you're at in life. And so now I'm like, hey, this is Rachel. Like I just did a listing presentation yesterday. And in my listing, bye, Deborah. Thanks for coming, honey.
Thank you.
I
Thank
just
you.
did a listing presentation yesterday, and I'm in my office right now. It's like my doors are closed, but I did tell them like part of my world is I have a 4, a 2, and a 1-year-old kiddo. So right now everything's all good, but you might hear one of them screaming at some point during this transaction. And they're like, that's okay. We have 8 cats. And I was like, ugh. I was like, okay. I was like, so you might have meowing and I'll have screaming. And we were all of a sudden equals and on the same page. And so I think it's really important to embrace who you are and where you're at in life and like share that, because I think they respect that. So like, God bless you for what you're going through. You are probably more tired than you've been with first baby in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, I remember like my husband is like the most put together, even keel guy. And I remember us just like in the first week of having the baby, crying, both crying, holding each other in the kitchen, like, we're not okay. And then at one point he was able to like put together the baby bassinet, and I was worried I would drop the baby because we co-sleep with the baby in the beginning. And I was worried I would drop the baby. And so he was able to like maneuver somehow to shove the bassinet next to the bed. And he's like, babe, I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I did something. I was like, we're a shit show, but
Yeah, that was me
yeah,
and my partner on week 2.
you will survive this. At week
And
3, you're going to be like, okay, maybe 30 days out, you're like, okay, but
yeah,
there's nothing harder than the newborn stage.
and just to tack on to that real quick, that's great. That's great help with clients and all that, but also just specifically lead gen too.
Yeah.
Just making sure you get that business in. How do you handle that?
Find a lead generation lever that's not time sensitive around when people are working. So like
Okay.
I would, for me, like that's social media was what I really dug into. If you're calling like expireds, or that also for me, the text messaging expireds, like that's changed the game for me because I don't call expired. I used to call and set in 7:30 to 9, and I was like, and I told my husband, I'm like, that doesn't work in my life anymore. I can't be available 7 to 9 in the morning because I'm asleep, my kids, lead gen, whatever. And so you have to find lead generation levers that work for you in your life. For me, I have a text message template. I use Brivity. I have it on an auto plan. I have my dreamy shmimi VA, Daniela, that's on here, and she combs through the listings to see who's on the market or not. And then we turn on the auto plan and then I convert them. So like while I'm right before we started, I had a guy who reached out to me that's like, I'm not ready yet, but talk to me in the fall. So the first thing I'm going to do when I'm done with our call, I'm going to go snug my babies. Then I'm going to call that dude and be like, how about we list you now?
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love that. Strap the kid to your chest while door knocking. You'll find listings and babysitters. That's so
Heck
good.
yeah.
All right. What other questions do we have, guys?
I have a question. This is Chanel. I'm in Sacramento.
Hey, honey.
So, when it comes to like buyer consultations, listing appointments, like all of the things, do you have like specific days that you designate for each? So you're not having like a buyer consultation on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday at various times. I need help with that.
Yeah, no worries. So speaking personally, I do not do listing appointments on weekends unless they absolutely cannot do it during the week. And even if they say like, oh, I'm available Saturday, I'm like, oh, okay, I totally hear that. Could you do a Thursday at like 6 o'clock? Like, because my weekends are sacred time for me. And so I figure the reason they can't do a weekend or they want to do a weekend because they work full time during the week. So for me, like I do my listing appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays because those are the days that I'm out and I'm in the office. So like I don't go into the office 7 days a week. I don't go in 5 days a week. I go in every Tuesday and Thursday. My agents know we do something called Power Up, which I'll show my calendar to you guys in a sec. We do Power Up on at 11 a.m. So like I'm a part of Place, which is our organization we're part of that powers us. We're with KW as well. And they were like, you have to do script practice with your agents. And I'm like, I hear you. And I was like not doing it because I was like, I in my head, I'm like, it has to be at 8 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I don't do 8 in the morning. That does not work in my life. And so I do script practice with my team from 11 to 11:30 because that's when I can commit to be at the office. I think a lot of times people don't do something because they feel like it's not the perfect timing. What I've learned about effective time blocking is do it with what works with your schedule. Make it work with your life and then you can commit to it. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my appointment days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you assign each of your businesses a certain time block, or do you do all your lead gen for all businesses during the same time block? So you guys know I have a coaching company, and I had been partnered with a shampoo company for a bunch of years, and I have real estate. I have separate blocks for when I'm doing it. Let me just share my screen and show my, Michelle, you said you sent me the scorecard.
Yeah, on your text.
Okay.
And I'm trying to drop it in the chat, but it's a disclaimer. It won't allow me to jump
Can you
in.
guys see the screen right now? Can you see that, Michelle?
I can.
Okay. So this is like my schedule right now. And what you'll see when you look through it is like there's certain days where I do like I have the gym 3 days a week and you'll see like, okay, so every morning I'm up at 7. I do my social media post and my reel at 7:30. Then like the kids get up, right? Now I have a nanny who is here from 7:30 to 4:30. So that's not all in here, but she's off at 4:30. So I know that at 4:30 I'm back on as a mom. And in here, like I have my lead generation blocks, but then you'll also see that I have coaching content and coaching creation. That's where I get to do like my other lead generation block. I have my own coach. So I've got my coaching in every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I have my own personal coaching time. And then the only thing that's different in my actual phone calendar that what I do is there's a lot more of these blank spots like this because I like to have blank spots so that I have white space. I promise you will fill your time. You think you might not, but you absolutely will fill your time. And that for me is just important to know that like that's what it looks like. Ruth, that is a schedule, and I will give you a copy of that blank schedule for you to map out. I have this whole list of everything I'm sending you guys.
So I just sent it to Danielle, just so you know, and then you can send it out as well.
Okay, so what percentage of the week do I say I follow my plan? When I get off, do I replace the task? Yeah, we have a saying in Keller Williams where if you erase, you have to replace. So if it matters and it's actual something that you must do, not a have or like not a want to do, but you must do it. We say if you erase it, you have to replace it. I would say honestly, I follow my schedule pretty dang well because I have appointments and people that count on me. My pieces that change is like when I have white space. That's where my day changes a little bit and kind of can go off course. I get very distracted very easily, so don't get it twisted that it's like all good all the time. Ruth knows this because I talk about it all the time, but like I get excited about life. I'm like I hear something, I watch something, I do something. So I get very distracted very easily. So that's my biggest thing where I have to be like back on it. And there are times when I'm like, oh crap, I'm 5 minutes late for this. And that sucks because then it's showing someone else that I don't respect their time. And that's like the worst thing that I could do. Michelle, I'm going to try to pull up whatever you just sent me.
I just sent it to Danielle, your assistant.
Hold on.
Yeah, I received it. However, I need an admin access. Rachel, maybe you can give me that.
Here, I'm just going to put it on my computer really quick, and then I'll pull it up for you guys to show you. So what is this that I'm going to be showing them, Michelle?
This is a scorecard, right? That you could use every single day. And as a coach, I have agents sending this to me, my top 20 sending this to me.
This is 75 hard.
I know it's 75 hard for an agent, Dollface.
Wait, so this is your scorecard?
Yes, I had them send this to me.
Ooh, okay, so walk through it with us.
Yeah. So I know this person is on this call right now, so it doesn't say your name, so we're okay. But 10 voice-to-voice or face-to-face conversations per day, right? 10, she wants to do 10 texts per day, cannot count the same contact more than once in 75 days, 1 CMA sent per day, 1 open house per week, 2 people added to her database per day, 1 agent referral contact per day, 1 personalized card sent per day, and read 10 pages of a book per day. Has to be a sales or business related. And these are her non-negotiables, meaning nothing will stand in her way until she does this. And the thing is, we were killing it. We were in momentum. Every time we use this, we're in momentum and we're going for it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see when this is high accountability. This is somebody who wants to reach something by the end of the year and will do it because she's highly accountable to herself.
That's awesome. I love that.
Mhm.
Last question, then we're going to scoot because I'm now over my time block and I will not go past it. So the question was, how many hours do we lead generate a day? So I lead generate 3 days a week, when I'm to actually build my business. So I lead generate 3 days a week to build my business. When I was newer, it was 5 days a week. And really it was 6 because I did open houses on the weekend. I don't do open houses anymore unless I'm training an agent. And then how many hours on those 3 days? 2 hours. I only do 2-hour lead gen blocks because that's as long as I can stay attached to something. Otherwise I get bored and I'm like, what's happening over there? So everything I do is in 2-hour blocks. Thank you so much, you guys. This has been so wonderful. Thank you for your time today. I hope so many of you take advantage of joining Michele for your free 30-minute coaching call. I appreciate everyone and your time. You time block for this, so amen to you and good job. And I will make sure we owe you my blank schedule that I use. I'm going to give you the links for the RCC and the weekly reels. Michele, sign up for coaching. We're going to get you the 411 example. We're going to give you a copy of the scorecard and the YouTube link for setting boundaries and the recording of this call. So you're going to have
you guys are awesome. Be the best version of you that you can be.
Thanks, guys. Take care. You got this.